Raksha, Ekta, should we begin?
Yes, Shaman, we can begin. Yeah.
Great. Okay, fine.
Shami, recording has been started from my end. We can begin it.
Okay. Ekta, we should begin.
Yes, Shaman.
We'll begin.
Yes, yes, please begin. Let's begin.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Shamin, and on behalf of the Brainalytics team and our title partner, Avaya India, we welcome you all and thank you for being a part of our roundtable CX Impact DigiTalks Series 2 Digital Transformation in CX. Before we start the roundtable, there are a few guidelines that I would like to highlight and make everyone aware of. Requesting all the attendees to be on mute when the speakers are taking their sessions. There would be a Q&A after each session where the attendees can ask questions to the speakers, if any. The guidelines are raise your hand, unmute yourself, and turn on your video. Introduce yourself and put forth your question. To start with, I would like to introduce our title partner, Avaya India. Businesses are built on the experiences they provide, and every day, millions of those experiences are built by Avaya. For over 100 years, they have enabled organizations around the globe to win by creating intelligent communication experiences for customers and employees. Avaya builds open, converged, and innovative solutions to enhance and simplify communications and collaboration in the cloud, on premise, or a hybrid of both. To grow your business, they are committed to innovation, a partnership, and a relentless focus on what's next. They are the technology company you trust to help you deliver experiences that matter. Now, to start with our first session, I would like to welcome our speaker, Tanveer Ashraf. He is Senior Solutions Consultant and Head Sales Engineering for East India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan with Avaya. Over to you, Tanveer.
Yeah, thanks, Chairman. Let me just share my presentation. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, my name is Tanveer Ashraf. I'm part of the solution team based out of Gurgaon. Yeah. So when we talk about experience, we focus on identifying and embracing new technology to elevate customer experience. However, I think customers are not the only whose experience has to manage. We have to make experience for CEO. When we say CEO, it doesn't means the boss CEO. What we mean is the customer, employee, and organization, and all these together is what we are talking about experience. We need to manage in total, and we at Avaya we call it total experience. We offer the platform to cater total experience and your total experience partner. We are known for experience that matter. We and at Avaya known for experience that matter, and we help create those experience across customer, employees, and business organization. So when we call that is we call total experience. Before I talk about us, first we need to recognize what we are, that we are part of our technological revolution, which is fundamentally altering how we live, how we work, how we relate things in the scale, in the scope, and complexity. The transformation is unlike anything that human mankind has seen before. And when we talk about today industry, it represents a fusion of advance in artificial intelligence, robotic, Internet of Things, genetic engineering, biotechnology, and much more. So these are part of life where the technology evolution has gone when we are talking about today industry, and this has fueled the changes in life of customers, users, or employees. If we talk about past decade alone, we have seen introduction of driverless car, payment automation, social media, online search, app, which are creating a digital trail, which is massive. All these are changing experience and brand we become fan of. I mean, with these changes, we as a user can be a brand fan, or it can change the way we look after the solution. Because of this, everything we do has changed, be it travel, be it shopping, or health experience, entertainment industries, or connecting with each other via social media. Because of the evolution, things has changed. If we talk about today customer, that we want today is different to what they want yesterday, and that's true. And certainly what they want tomorrow, we call it everything customer. Because they want what they want yesterday, and what they want today tomorrow is totally different from the experience perspective that customer look forward. Sometimes they shop online, and sometimes they want a comfort like the way they are in the store. So they are shopping online, but they want a comfort in a store experience they want while online shopping. Sometimes when they want to serve themselves, which is called self-service, but other times they also want interaction with human. So that's how the experience or the users want. Sometimes they want information to be personalized for proactive services, like for example based on user profile, a proactive information about product solution or the way experience. At the same time, sometimes they also say that organizations are not respecting the privacy, so they want a total experience. At the same time, they want a privacy as well. Sometimes they wanted to interact via WhatsApp, facebook messenger Facebook Messenger, social media, but other time they want traditional phone call as well. And that is where it is experience of the customer which is changing it up, but they want total experience at the same time. So what we mean that, quite simply, what they want is a connected but left alone. uh, they want treated equally, but at the same time they want to be served uniquely. And that's what the nature of the today's consumer or customers are. They want fully featured, but at the same time it wants effortless. So they want everything, but they want things to be an effortless. So the customer look forward for constant experience. As customer, we want a lot, but delivering it as a effortless is what the customer requirement is. And and that is what today we call it total experience, because the customers looking forward for experience which is effortless, and at the same time they want a complete thing, the way a traditional as well as today digital form. Now this can be achieved only through a total experience that we at Avaya provide. So what is importance over here to provide the total experience is not only the customer experience. Apart from customer, there is a user experience or employee experience is very important to serve the customer. And the user experience, when they wanted to serve themselves via any of the self-service application or website or whatever, they want a seamless, and they want a effortless experience. Now these two are very important, not only customer experience, employee experience. the user experience, be it any app or any solution, is very important. And together with user experience, it provides the the complete experience to the customer. And that is where, when we are talking about, we at Avaya, when we are talking about an experience where the total experience, we are talking about not only end customer experience, or we are talking about employee experience, including user experience is very important. So if we talk about today's how things has changed up in a customer experience domain, so we at Avaya, we do have a customer experience and employee experience domain. So let's take an example of customer experience domain. We know in 1990s it started with call center, then a contact center, which is multi-channel, email, chat, then omni-channel customer experience. Now people are looking for a composable experience. When we say composable experience, it means that a system, we have a monolithic application. So whenever new requirements are there of the customer, we do some changes on monolithic application and we try to serve the customer. But that is more of a in building the cost for the solution, and the overall experience the way the customer want in composable is not possible. It decreases the agility. So the solution has to be a composable, so that we can easily make changes and it serve the customer, to give a real experience to the customer. Now this is today want is a composable experience. So we at Avaya, we have a solution called one cloud, Avaya One Cloud. It's a composable experience platform. This is not any product, or it is not a system that has to be implemented. It is completely a platform is there. This platform, the idea behind this platform is to provide a transformation of platform by providing customer experience applications, employee experience application, and user experience in a self-service format. This together on this platform will give a total experience for the customer. So this platform is based out of it's a one cloud platform. It can be from the cloud or it can be on premise as well. When we at Avaya, when we talk about experience framework, because as I said, it's not a product, it's not an application, it's a complete platform. So when we talk about platform or framework, we are talking about four pillars of a platform. One, first is getting connected. So it can be any channel of communication. It can be voice. We are talking about multi-channel. We are talking about all new channel of communication. So they want to be connected in any type of channel they want. Second, when it is connected, then you need to have a orchestration process, and that's very important because it cannot be a siloed process. It has to be, all these channel has to be an, a customer journey should be designed based on the type of customer and the type of channel that uses. Third is obviously managing resources, which is an employee, through providing workforce management and another thing. And then last but not least, the fourth pillar is the knowledge, which is uh, inside information about how the user experience are, how we can give to the agent a desktop which provides you one single information to serve the customer, and the desktop provide you a complete journey of the customer in a single interface. So these are the four pillar of the customer experience solution, which provides everything for the customer in terms of total experience. Now, when we talk about Avaya One Cloud solution, it is not a standalone system. When we talk about CCaaS, or we are talking about UCaaS or CPaaS. Now these are all can be done on a normal iPaaS or IaaS pass solution. It can be any cloud solution, and we have our partners eco partners are there. There are platforms are there. There are other services are there which are provided by third party, which they are expert in that particular domain. We use all these things to provide composable experience through our one cloud solution, be it integration with any type of CRM or any other services that customer want. Yes, because when we are talking about not a monolithic application, what we are talking about is a composable user experience application. So it is not only one single application which will provide a customer experience. It has to coexist with other solution as well to provide a customer experience that we are looking for, and Avaya One Cloud solution is in that line. So with this Avaya One Cloud solution, what we are talking about is the agility, increase the agility of the solution. So obviously, when we are talking about voice or multi-channel or omni-channel or multi-experience, the moment we are coming to the total experience, it is the technology platform which has to provide not only customer experience, user experience, and employee experience is very important to provide a 360-degree view to the end customer as well as within the organization to the employees as well. Now Avaya One Cloud platforms provide total experience in terms of user experience for any organization, and that organization end customer, or we are talking about a user of or we're talking about employee within that organization. So let me give you one total journey experience. So what you see is a call flow, a normal journey of experience of a customer. Typically, we all know that people goes to the website to go and buy anything, or and then they start with a web chat. So customer might have purchased a product, and they might have different queries. Not only after purchasing, it can be for the shipping related information or anything. So they start with the chat. Now, once they start with the chat, it is a self-service based bot comes in, and bot interact with the user to provide the type of information they are looking for. So we call automated self-service. Now, customer might call up to the contact center as well. So the moment customer calls up, the automated service comes up. Now this is it is an agentless, completely virtual agent is being supported. So there are queries which can be served by the self-service platform, but there are some queries are there where they want to talk to back-end employees. So what happened based on the type of user interaction on a self-service platform, and based on their type of customer, the pattern of their business with an organization, the calls are being transferred to the agent, and it is actually a routing based on different attribute, and digital channel interactions are possible with the customer. Now obviously, when the interaction has come onto the agent, we provide a browser based desktop, which is omni channel desktop is there, with complete customer journey. So when we say customer journey, what they have done on a website, uh, what are the things, that product that he has bought it, when they started the chat, what are the answers that he has got on the chat self services, and when they called up the voice self service, what all the information he has got. All these informations are being captured and provided in a customer journey format to the agent to really provide the customer a better experience. Now these agent can take support from supervisor or a backend expert. So when we are talking about one single platform, it is not only the front end experienced people are there, but there are expert at the back ends are there. So when we are talking about one single system, it provides you to connect to the back end system or back end expert as well. And then you have, at the end of the day, you have a real time and historical reporting to understand the overall what the customer is doing from the starting of buying a product, then after sales support till they buy another product on the line. and the futuristic as well. So the whole experience of the user are being captured by the system to provide a total experience to the customer. So this we are talking about a customer journey in terms of one of the connected user experience. So I think with this, I have just put myself on a short. If you have any question, I can take that, or I can hand over to.
Thank you so much, Tanveer. Do we have any questions for Tanveer? I think Tanveer, let's go ahead and towards the end of the session, maybe after the panel discussion, we will have a few questions. Uh, I think we'll go ahead now. Moving forward to our panel discussion, we have an interesting discussion on digital innovation, identifying and embracing new technologies to elevate CX. I would like to invite our speakers. We have among us Anilesh Singh Rathod. He is VP and Senior Director Solutions for Times Group. We have Jayanta Bhaumik. He's Group CIO with Kesaram Industries. We have Uzair Faruqi. He is Head Analytics and BI with M Junction Services Limited. We have Arindam Banerjee. He's Head of Audience Development and Sales with ABP. And we have Mr. Deepan Sengupta. He's Head IT with Philips Carbon Black Limited. I would now request our panel moderator, Vishal Thakkar. He is Head Unified Communications and Collaboration with Avaya India to take it from here. Over to you, Vishal.
Good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing fine today. It's so good to connect on this special technology by Avaya.
Yeah.
Let me start. Businesses and organizations are always looking to enhance their customer experience strategies that help in maintaining long-term relationships that attract new customers as well as retain old ones. In order to implement an effective digital customer service and experience strategy, it's important to understand that customer journey so that it can be enhanced. Focusing uh, digital transformation on the customer experience forces companies to address, empathize, and understand all the touch point in which they interact with customer every day. With that, on that note, I start this panel discussion, and now I would like to invite Mr. Anilesh Singh. And sir, my question to you is that what consists of a robust and agile technology ecosystem which can ensure evolution of customer interactions, delivering return on investments, and exceeding their expectations. Over to you, Anilesh, sir.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is having a good day today. So, Vishal, coming there before coming to a question, I think we have to look at this in two ways. One, when we look at digital transformation or disruptive technologies, agile, this is related more. This was more of jargons, as if I may add, 3 years back for primarily IT-enabled companies. You had likes of your big four, either the big four consultancies or your big giants in India, which are IT-based. What has happened in last 3-4 years is primarily due to external factors also, is that uh, these transformations or these technologies have come to other companies also. So you have to understand, for companies whose core product is in technology and they are providing solution for them, this comes to naturally. So what the way we address, I come from a media background, or I have IT, banking background in the past. So you have to understand, so there is transformation, there is technological disruptions which are there for IT companies, and then there is things in real world. When I say real world, I talk right from consumer facing brands, also moving on to brands which are not consumer facing, your steel industry, your all those industries. So this transformation or this movement, this usage of technology is extremely critical when it comes to their business. Now, to answer your question, the second part of it is where people have been. So, all the companies today, if I look at heavy industries or if I look at media industry, whatever industries, we all have key specializations. Uh, what in our language now in solution where we call it stack based. See, ultimately we just had a value chain. In that value chain, you had distribution, you had product, you had your processes, everything. Now, what has happened? How do you, how this agile technology or usage of disruption helps is that we pick up one or two specialized categories where which are core strengths to the brand, and we then, after picking that core strength, we invest in technology, we invest in R&D. And see, there are two words: one is explore, second is exploit. You always
True.
exploit your existing core, right? So today, your app environment, fintech mein, phone based app environment is the latest trend. It's an available trend. What you have to exploit that trend, pick up that trend. I will pick up in in my kind of space, giving example from my industry. For my industry, content and its communication are the biggest strength. So what we are doing is that we have exploited the latest trend, which is in app environment, and we have integrated that with content creation and content communication. So then it becomes a value chain for me. In my entire system, there are 8 to 10 stacks, but I'm not picking up all 8 or 10 stacks to specialize, because that is cost exorbitant, and that might not be my core strength. So I've picked up two of my core strength and I'm exploiting it. Not only that, I am now also exploring a step ahead, wherein I can further pick up new trends to do it. For example, 3 seconds and 5 seconds snacking content is something which is still not picked up in Asian markets. We don't have TikTok anymore, so that experience is out. So that for me is a exploring area where I am using all my R&D budget to explore. See, it's very critical that all brands realize that although technological transformation or disruption is extremely critical, but it should have a real world ROI. If it does not have real world ROI in today's competitive environment, it is very difficult for any brand to sustain that in your businesses. So the way any brand should look at it is extremely important to pick up a key strength and then build on it. See, please understand, technological disruption happens at a geometrical progression. It is in multiplier stage, right? It is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. But your businesses don't grow that. Business growth is always linear. It is never in a multiplier stage. So there will always be a big gap in terms of the way technology is moving so fast and the way businesses adapt. Because we don't have that kind of bottom lines, to support all disruptions. Although, as we know, Tahir or Tanvir was explaining that in just the previous presentation, that technology disruption helps you in consumer engagement. But today's consumer is extremely clear as to what he wants and what he doesn't want. The combination of big data, which is very important today. You pick up big data and you pick up artificial intelligence. Basis that whatever your product is offering, it can be in any stack. So your value chain could have process-based innovation, it could have product-based innovation. For my company, for my category, or for even for that any kind of company which is in consumer-facing brands, product innovation and process innovation is where the majority lies, where your bulk of core lies. Because, for example, if you pick up the entire pandemic space, everything today has moved to content and communication, right? If it is not a product based environment, then it is a content and communication based environment. So very critical that we understand that this entire space will keep on growing. Consumer will become more demanding. See, one thing which changes that I've seen in last 12, 13 years is convenience and trust are the two most critical component in real world. See, I can have, there is today, when you look at, there is clutter of data. So there is billions and billions of terabytes of data which is moving in real time. See, entire world today is only data, its process, and the way we storage, and how you're moving it in real time. So there is clutter of data and everything. The important thing is to analyze, pick up your own stack. Basis that stack you build up. You can go to a SaaS platform, you can go to a process-based innovation. What's very important that you identify your core and then you build upon it. Exploit your existing strengths and then work on blue ocean area. You know, pick up a trend which is there, you feel you want to invest in it. But this is for sure. If we don't invest in technological disruptions, it will not. Lastly, to conclude my point, not only at consumer side, most important for leaders, people who are in this space, have to first drive an internal change. See, our internal employees and internal customers also need to be transformed in their mindset, which is where another challenge lies in companies or industries which are legacy. You know, companies which are not traditionally your new line companies with say 50 year, 70 year, 80-year bottom line kind of a space. It's very important that we transform their mindset also. There it should come. Then only you will be able to pick up all the technologies and come up to a solution. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anilesh, sir, I think I just love to hear that. And the way you have, used the explore and exploit, I just loved it. Thanks a lot for your views on this, sir, and really appreciate to have, your thoughts on this. We also have Mr. Dipen with us. Mr. Dipen, can we have your thoughts on this?
Hi, very good afternoon to the August audience, and thank you so much, Vishal. And I was listening eagerly the points put by Anilesh. It was really making sense. Technology disruption happens in geometric progression, and the business growths are usually linear. Wonderful. Just to set the tone, we in PCBL under RP Sanjeev Group, we are a global company, India's largest carbon black producer, and selling to 40 plus countries. And also with the background of automobile and steel, I would like to touch upon some of the environments which I have come across, mostly in the B2B environment. In the B2B segment, typically what we feel is the traditional concept that you raise an invoice and you set the material consignment and that's it. And you have some of the sales touch points who interact time to time with the customer. But the things have changed drastically. Nowadays, the customers, they are looking for a B2C experience in a B2B business.
True.
If we may compare it with kind of Amazon's or Big Basket or those kind of app-based experiences, which you all know, the customers are literally demanding that kind of scenarios, which needs to be app-based, digitized, uh, moderated with some kind of a AI/ML-based chatbots, and at some point you need to have interventions of a customer touch point with a real audio or a real voice. And especially it is more for the Indian kind of a mindset where we are not too comfortable always to hear a machined voice, hello, I am this and greeted and all. It requires, I mean, it's maybe in the value system of India, we are more comforted once you hear a human voice, whether you like it or not. That's paramount. What we see today, probably going forward, that human voice will remain, but the front end of it, the initial part of it, and the interaction part of it. If I take an example of one of the great this retail apps, you have a wrong delivery or you have a product which is little faulty, you just go and in the app you take a photo of that wrong delivery, and the chatbot comes in, and then your money is refunded, or you are asked, do you want a refund or do you want a replacement of the product on the next day, very next day. That's a wow experience. Okay. The person comes in when there is an ambiguity, there is a problem, there is a decision making issue, and the chatbot doesn't say that it is not my forte or it is beyond my syllabus. Many times the chatbots land up into that zone if it is not trained adequately. That's where the customer disset need to be overcome. Customers are like butterflies. They will keep on jumping, and again, Anilesh told it very rightly, the convenience and trust. The convenience factor comes here. Ultimately, the customers, some person, some touch point, maybe the CPRO or the procurement person or the downstream person, they will play the role, and their feedback becomes paramount apart from the product quality and the service quality. That's where this digital introduction is going to be very, very important. How do you connect customer in a B2B segment which has entire details? When a salesperson visits a customer, how does the salesperson capture the entire gamut of past history of the customer? How many times the customer had a history of those unsavory customer calls with the chatbot or a call center, on what all issues? If we can have that in a dashboard, the customer is excited that okay, someone has come with those information, and he is not a novice just asking me what new business I can give. That gives a wow experience, that creates a trust. I would share some of the real experiences in international environment where customers, countries like Indonesia, Vietnam, European countries, we are privy to being customers and consignments. There the spectrum is little different. They are very, very process centric. Most of these countries, many of these countries, I would say, they would go by the guidelines. Now if you have a guideline and if you have a language or if you have a call center which is not tuned to that kind of a global setup, then you create a dissent. So that's the part which you need to be sensitive about, the linguistic issue, the vocabulary issue, the accent issue, if you are looking for a audio and those kind of interactions which are digitized. That's important. How do you overcome that aspect? Because that's a training part of it. The Indian English and the international English or the country-wise English, we know there are tones and accent issue. We try to tell something to Siri or the Alexas of the world, you are not always successful. So that's the tuning part of it. Going forward, the omni-channel experience of the customer is what will make or break. The customer should be able to see both the proactive part of the business and the reactive part of the business. All the consignments, deliveries, billing, maybe the GST or other international kind of taxation details or the consignment history, the tracking, and also the complaints, where the complaints are lying. The entire ecosystem need to be presented in totality. The person who is interacting from the call center side or the representative side, they need to be equipped with all those. You cannot say that this is outside my forte and I don't have this information and I will pass on. So that's the environment which we probably would imagine. I would pause here unless there is any other thing Vishal would like me to take.
Dipen sir, really wonderful to have your insights along with the real life examples. I just could go on and just simply go ahead with this conversation. Appreciate your thoughts and really thank you for your sharing your valuable inputs on this. And with that, we move on to our next question. And our next question is to Jayanta sir. And Jayanta sir, thanks for joining. And my question to you is that how organizations can accelerate digital interactions to provide unmatched customer experience. Over to you, Jayanta sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now we can hear you.
Yes. Is it interrupting? Because I didn't hear your question properly. But is my voice clear?
Yeah, your voice is clear, sir, and I just repeat the question for your reference. Jayanta sir, my question to you is that how organizations can accelerate digital interactions to provide unmatched customer experience. We expect to hear now your views about the strategies to deliver a seamless customer experience, which really gives an unmatched customer experience, exceeding their expectations.
Yeah, it's actually if we start discussing this, it will be an endless discussion. Any customer, whoever it is, even in the most backward industrial manufacturing sector, also the expectation uh, of the new world features and the digital experience is the basic, is very basic today. See, the CRMs and all have been there in use for decades now. But in a traditional CRM, you just give a CRM portal access to the customer to the level of customers' uh, order status and some access to them in order to check where is it and some prediction towards that, and maybe nowadays some amount of uh, reports if they want, etc. But the expectation goes beyond that.
True.
Today the experience that they get and rightly elaborated by Deepan, the kind of experience they get in a B2C environment, that sets the benchmark. And the uh, that starts the expectation starts from the time the certain sales order discussion starts, and the discussion goes in the manner that some of them and most of them today need a predictive forecasting. That when I see the negotiation, one of the element of negotiation is the estimated time of delivery, and that predictive scheduling along with the other components determine the win or loss, and that prediction also has to go with the other situation in the plant, in the other order pipelines and the stock and the plant capacity, etc. So it also has to work across the chain of process, not only from the manufacturing but also from the logistics, from the planning, from quality, and everywhere the feedback, seamless feedback enables the predictive scheduling. While the salesperson should be able to predict plus minus some percentage, a definitive date. So it starts from there, and then it goes on. And when actually the delivery date is coming, the frequency and the intensity of interaction, goes up. That's where the use of intelligence comes in, and you need to also very efficiently and intelligently enable the various functions so that you get real-time data, real-time information from every function in order to have an updated information, real-time information available. And that goes to the level of, when your transporter comes in, they are enabled digitally, and they need to be going through a seamless digital experience while coming in, loading, and while they are moving on, they are tracked through RFID within the plant and GPS outside the plant, and then right up to the dispatch, the delivery. And then the electronic proof of delivery comes in automatically through the GPS, and this is standard across industry domains, and this creates the benchmark and the minimum basic expectation. So that's where whoever is lagging behind, the acceleration has to really catch up in these areas, these basic areas, rather than going to the further advanced level of uh, machine learning, which needs to have the other ecosystem to be capable. So the very basic expectation is that I need to enable my end-to-end business functions to be delivering data real time. and I enable the entire ERP as well as the other integrated interfaces to be able to deliver a seamless analytics available not only to management but to customers, to vendors, to everybody. So this is where we all need to have the basic benchmark set today. So this is a no-brainer now. Otherwise, people may not be able to exist, and we all are, um, more or less uh, trying to strive and make sure these basic expectations are met. And for that, the infrastructure inside and outside the manufacturing and other areas across dealer and partner ecosystem, wherever the infrastructure is lagging, that needs to be taken care of, addressed. We very often, don't look at the underlying infrastructure, but that also needs to catch up for us
True.
to really enable the entire platform to leverage all our technology that we need to execute, implement, and really catch up with the competition.
Absolutely. Ajay sir, I think I just love to hear it. And the way you have explored and the emphasize on delivering the experiences and end to end delivering the end to end experiences, what something which should be focused and should be brought into processes is what which will really enhance and matters to customer when it comes to customer experience. Thanks a lot, sir. We appreciate your views and really appreciate your thoughts on this, and we would love to hear that from you. And my next question is about how organizations should create personalized experiences that resonate across all your digital channels, and what are the benefits about it. And we also have Mr. Uzair Faruqi with us, and my question goes to him. And Uzair sir, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Vishal. I'll see during my interactions within the company or outside, the first question is asked: How do we proceed ahead in this journey towards machine learning? So, as a practicing data science professional, my answer is simple. One has to datafy everything. One has to start capturing data, data of your customers, data of their interactions. Once you have the data in place, then what you call advanced machine learning models or predictive algorithms can be developed on. I had read a recent study by McKinsey which says predictive analytics is a future of CX. But I mean, predictive analytics is now already there. It's not the future. And as a purist, I would say it's more of say algorithm driven. Uh, what you call might not be all the algorithms would come under predictive analytics or machine learning, but it is algorithmic driven. So it's not that customer surveys do not capture all the data regarding your customers or processes. So one has to fall back on analyzing data to understand your customers better. So data might say help a retailer understand that this customer is coming because of some exotic mustard sauce I have in my outlet, or is he coming because of the regular sales which I am publishing every weekend on the through SMS or on the newspapers. So once you have understood your customer, you can utilize predictive analytics to push in say relevant offers at the right time at the right moment so that you can engage with them better. Now, it's not that it is the B2C companies which are doing it. Even B2B organizations like even my organization is doing it in the sense we are utilizing predictive algorithms like recommender engines, etc., to push in relevant products to the relevant buyers on our online platforms where we sell, say, tea and metal scrap, etc. We are also using predictive analytics to convey to our buyers saying that this is the right price suggested by the algorithm. Uh, so, so when you have data, you are better able to understand customers. You are able to develop algorithms which will push in what you call the relevant offers, relevant messages, and it may not be live data, but yes, you are creating that sort of a engagement with your customers. Now, the same engagement would be there across all the channels in the sense integrated offline as well as online. So this is the way organizations can create personalized experiences across channels using data. So that's how I would end this question as use data expeditiously and uh, let algorithms do their job.
Absolutely. And with a rich background, you come off with a so rich exposure to the new age technologies like artificial intelligence and machine language and all. I'm sure no one better than you could focus and emphasize on it. And we also have Dipin sir with us. And Dip sir, can we have your views on this?
Yeah. So, the technology which is going to come, uh, I would imagine that probably in way forward, uh, if you would just imagine at this stage, first and foremost will be the technologies which are emerging. If you think of blockchain, what is going to happen in a B2B segment? All the data from the customer end, sorry, supplier's end or the vendor's end to the customer via
Let's
all
go
the
back.
paths like bank, customs, port, or other international checkpoints, and ultimately to the customer will be traveling via blockchain, the encrypted data. If that is the case, which is already there in countries like Estonia and ports like Rotterdam and Antwerp, in India, it is just going to happen. The government is declaring certain blockchain policies. Where are we dovetailing into this end-to-end connected environment to have these customer experiences? How the companies going to pitch in into this blockchain connected document and the ecosystem and the transaction information in their so-called CRM or interfaces or chatbots or the call centers kind of environment. That's something to ponder about. Probably that's the journey which will actually mandate a basic minimum amount of environment in the ecosystem. Today, you have accounting principles or accounting requirement for the companies which requires GST and other stuff or submission of the tax information and all those things. So there is a basic bare minimum information ERP segment or the accounting platforms, even if the customer doesn't have a CRM or SRM and all those stuff. These things are there. In would-be scenario, that will be the mandate. If the blockchain enabled transmission of documents, paperless transmission is the norm, then where does it stop? If I have an international consignment traveling through international carrier like Marks through blockchain, and Marks is clearing the international port clearance through blockchain enabled transfer of documents, not that the ship is in the mid sea and some boat is coming and carrying the documents and giving to port for immigration kind of a clearance. It's not going to happen. How does the customer get a real-time information of the tracking of that document and the consignment? Where is that chatbot and the information piece coming in? How do you pitch in? Now it's a trusted environment, trusted ecosystem. How do you see a generic call center kind of environment pitches in? That's a kind of food for thought. At this moment, we don't have this mandate, but probably this is what we need to right now start thinking. I would pause here.
I think it was just wonderful to hear getting some real life examples and the way we should focus on it. I think no one could have said it better than you, Dipin sir. Appreciate your thoughts and really thankful to hear really these wonderful thoughts. And with this, we move on to my next question. And then my next question is about there are challenges and we turn them to opportunities. How organizations can turn challenges into opportunities while going digital. And I would like to invite Mr. Anilesh Singh to have his views on this. Over to you, Anilesh, sir.
Yeah, thank you, people. So, guys, as I was saying in my first bit, also, it's extremely critical while you look at whenever we are looking at harnessing technology. You know, it could be a trend. So, the way I look at it, all your businesses and the way business will move forward will be into trends and fads. Trends are a little long term. Any trend that I'm talking about would be something that will take impact from between 180 days to a year kind of time. And then you have things like which are fads. When I say fads, are small tactical changes that you bring on in your work, which can have short term benefits. So when it is very important, as I was saying in my earlier part also, that people should adopt in their stack of value chain. So every business has its own value chain, right? Within that value chain, every brand or a leader will have to pick up basis their R&D capacity with stack. See, today the good thing is that every one of us should remember is that technological disruption is very cheap these days. In the sense that with very little investment, you can create a new interaction. I'll go out of the business environment. You had the POTUS, the last POTUS, totally sidelined the mainstream media and basis Twitter. He had built his entire hegemony, right? You look at, so this I'm talking about from the world of polity. World's strongest political leader used one technological disruption which was free of cost. Our Twitter account is FOC, zero bottom line. So please understand that in any of the stacks, it is important that we analyze it. And then, now one more thing that I want to come, which is important for all brands, and this is how we build up. Now I'm talking about my own. Please understand, it will be very few people would know that 64% of this country doesn't speak English or Hindi put together. It's very big, huh? 64% of the population doesn't speak well versed Hindi or English put together. Ours is a country of plurality. When I say plurality, I mean language, food, and everything we all remember. Mile sur mera tumhara. I am coming to language, vernacular. So any kind of disruption that you're picking up in your line of business, the communication and the communication and vernacular communication is extremely important. See, hyper local approach, any kind of digital disruption in our country as vast as India, where every 40 kilometer everything changes. It is very important that that disruption has to be not homogeneous, but heterogeneous. It should have an element where we are customizing to everyone's need. See, the solutions that we are, like for example, our own solution, I am sitting in East right now, based in Calcutta. Most of my digital disruption that I'm doing, which is in short term, are always focused on this diaspora. A diaspora which is based in East when I'm looking at. Similarly, when I'm talking about disruptions which are far south, they are totally different what we are looking east. So, to answer this on a broader way, we are adopting hyper local digital disruptions in order to make real world changes in our offering, and that offering will automatically give impact to my bottom line. See, this is a thing which is not something that matters to a typical IT company or a typical IT environment space. But for me, my consumers want to feel important. They are looking at a customized experience. See, when I look at it, all of you are also my consumers. All of you at any point of time might open the TUI app, might be consuming a Zoom series, might be listening to Radio Mirchi, our radio channel, might be listening to something else, reading a newspaper in physical format. So But this is for me, the entire value chain is dependent on my hyper local approach. My advice is that all of us as leaders should, going forward, put this localized hyper local in their vernacular offerings. I'll stop here. Anything else people can ask?
Okay, I think it was so wonderful to hear those, the charming thoughts about how we should go about it, and really uh, thinking about how organizations can really make use of the opportunities and can, really have challenging turning into opportunities. Thanks a lot, Anilesh sir. I think wonderful to have your, thoughts on this, and really appreciate your views on this, sir. With
Thank
this,
you.
we move on, and my next question is about how adoption of artificial intelligence and machine language help in automation of customer experience and employee experience. What are the possible advantages of this? So that's the theme for the next question, and I would like to now invite Mr. Uzair Faruqi, who is with us. Over to you, Uzair, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, first, let me speak about something which is spoken less of, though we less of in forums, though we admit that it's a problem in terms of the employee experience, how this can change. Now, yes, using data, we have come to know that organizations have built models to predict whether a customer an employee will stay with them or not, whether somebody is going to leave or not. And it's not difficult, I mean, to develop this model, provided one is in that field. So organizations are using that. But the more profound effect would be in terms of my day-to-day work or doing things. Many times, in most of the organizations, we see people complaining that this Excel file is not running, this Excel file badly. So these sort of complaints you hear across organizations. So one of the things we do or we have been done is that most of the time it's actually not required for the person to work in Excel. Most of the reports in organizations can be automated in the sense a particular what you call an algorithm running at a particular point of time can generate these reports and send across as emails to the particular person. And this is happening. We are also ourselves also doing it, and this is happening. And it is estimated that much of the work in say finance or administration, in terms of these report preparation, Excel files, and all, might make way to automated reports, and it's not difficult to do that. So this is one thing which is changing the employee experience. Second is when you have knowledge, when you have data, you can take informed decision. Say, for example, you could have look at it from the point of a purchase manager. He needs to take a decision whether I book in a purchase today or whether I postpone it. So one can actually develop a model saying that okay, you are making a purchase decision now. This could be the expected price. Uh, 15 day, 30-day down the line, this could be the expected price of this particular commodity. So you can take a decision based on that. Though obviously I admit that, say for example, yeah, the models cannot incorporate these sort of unforeseen events like this Ukraine war, etc. The prices of commodities have fluctuated wildly. Uh, Incorporating that into the model becomes much more say difficult. So then again, the other aspect is say, for example, a procurement guy or a selling guy has purchased a commodity. He wants to know whether the event or the negotiation is genuine or not, whether the his what you call the bidders or sellers have cartelized or not. So again, there exist algorithms which can explain, which can give to him a suggestion that okay, this particular negotiation process, there is a high chance that a cartelization has happened. Uh, and that his what you call the sellers have rigged the process. I I have actually developed this sort of an algorithm. So here we have changed the things in the sense the person has data and using models, he has come to know what is actually happening, and based on these, he can take any informed decision. Now, this is and also uh, he has much of the reports which are automated, uh, delivered to him through email, etc. So he can concentrate on more of his strategic things, uh, or put in his efforts towards the other aspects of his work. So that's how AI ML would change the employee experience in terms of working in the organization. So I foresee perhaps I could be wrong or right, I don't know, a future where one doesn't have to deal with Excel sheets which they hang frequently because of large amounts of data, etc. And these things are automated. On the customer front, again, the data or machine learning algorithms are changing things, what they call drastically, with location-based offers, with say for with say more relevant offers or more relevant communication. From the organization perspective, it's important that you engage more proactively with the customer, knowing much about his uh, purchase pattern, history, so that you engage with him uh, proactively based on a better understanding of the customer. Now, even bots, they work 24 hours. You might not have, say, just say uh, a 10 to 5 or a 10 to 6 calling time when you call up a customer service. This is how, again, it has changed. So, so these are the things which are changing as far as the customer experience as well as the employee experience is concerned. And we would perhaps the future is not very far away where we lead to a situation where everything is based on data, your even the employees and even what you call the customers. So perhaps our next, I don't know, what you call next appraisal is based on the fact that the management or the HR thinks that whether somebody is going to jump ship or not. So this is the way how AIML or data-driven decision making is changing things, and is going to change things, and how it is going to affect our lives, both as
Uh,
customers and as employees.
Absolutely, that data is king. That there's information everywhere, and then how we make best use of that information
Yeah,
is
and
gonna be.
one
Yes,
last
sir.
thing I wanted to mention is that, you see, fine, data is there. You have to the journey towards this thing is not what I call easy. One has to struggle a lot, put all the data in place, start capturing data, manage what I call employee resistance, and lots of other things to ultimately reach this sort of a goal.
Absolutely. I think Uzair sir, you have just nailed it. I think I would say that absolutely spot on, and that's what no one could have said it better than you, sir. And I appreciate your views, and really wonderful to hear about hear from you about all these. Thanks a lot, sir. Appreciate your thoughts. Just to check, can we have Mr. Can we just see that if Mr. Arindam Banerjee is joined, because he was supposed to join post 3:30, and unfortunately, I couldn't see him on the screen. So just checking with Raksha or Shamin, anyone, if you can just locate if Mr. Arindam is joined, or if not, then we move on.
Oh, no, Vishal, he has not joined. I believe you can go ahead with Jayanta sir.
Okay, okay. So with this, we are done with the questions in terms of what we thought we could be discussing with you. And now the floor is open. And before we conclude, we would just like to invite any one of you, like either Dipen sir or Jayanta sir, or Zair sir or Anilesh sir, just give us some. You can give us some any live example which you had gone through where you helped in terms of how you made the impact for the enhancing the customer experience or whatever it is, whenever in your journey, wherever it was. If you could just share some of the real life examples, we would like to learn from them, sir. Any one of you, sir.
Yeah. So, from my Tata experience, I would like to share a kind of story related to Taj. And Taj is Taj. Many cases, it's a wow experience, we all know. But a real insider story I was privy to, being in the group. A gentleman or a lady or a couple probably complained after staying in Taj. Uh, they found a hair in the pillow. Okay, that's
Interesting.
completely unacceptable, right?
Interesting.
So it was a hair, piece of hair, long, short, we don't know, but just mention it. It was a post hashtag Taj and then found up hair in the pillow. It was picked up by the big data analysis of the Tata Group team, immediately was taken up by the Taj authorities. The then CIO was close to me and we were chatting about this. And immediately their team made a apology without even checking anything or even cross questioning. Posting an apology at that level because it is completely unacceptable without even asking whether we will verify, we will check nothing. So that's a kind of a unconditional apology sought. And then separately they were contacted with a kind of a soft compensation. We invite you in your next occasion of marriage anniversary or whatever to stay with us free of charge, 2 days, one night kind of a thing. So we take it as our image and that's it. So that was the experience which they gave. Incidentally, I was present there. And in the next seminar, we were part and they were, incidentally part of that audience. I had a very silly issue of uh, curry or Indian gravy. It was a chicken gravy fell on my shirt during the dinner. Someone immediately from Taj came and asked whether I can take effort to wipe out that stain. So it's nothing digital, nothing IT. We thought of just telling the customer experience. Okay. So I said yes. That lady immediately called someone and they brought a kind of a solution or a liquid and took permission to apply it on my shirt. They applied it, rubbed it, and gone. That yellow stain, the curry mark was completely vanished. It was in the front. So that's a wow experience. If you translate it into a digital world, we all are experienced veterans in our respective domains. We can understand. I mean, this is what we need to translate in our digital environment or digital experience. I would pause here. Thanks.
Yeah, I think wonderful to hear that experience. I think we all have gone through some kind of customer experiences in our life somewhere. But yeah, some of the things which stuck to our mind and can really, they really make a difference. And really made us think that, okay, should we go for that level of customer experience? The answer is you can't go for anything and everything. But yes, if you put in efforts, then yes, whether analog or whether it is digital, whether it is uh, to do with technology or not with technology, it's the spirit to make it work. It's the passion which allows you to just go for it, whether digital or not. So I think depends. Sir, appreciate, I think, very wonderful experience you have given us, and really shown us a way that that's what should be the way forward, whether you are talking about technology or not. I think wonderful to hear that. uh, and before we end, I think we have some more time. If anyone would like to add some more in terms of some real life exposure or experience. Yes, sir.
That's a reminder to all of us that no matter how and to what extent we go digital and automation and AI and ML, the personal touch still has its value.
True that,
You
sir.
know, it
I
should not
I, I
fade.
agree with you.
Forget.
Okay, I'll share. I think we have some time, so I'll share with you a real what I call experience of
Yes,
developing
Uzair sir, please go
a
on.
machine learning solution. This we had done for tea. So we were faced with the challenge of convincing the sellers who had very high expectations of the tea that they sell, saying that this is the price that can be uh, expected from the market from the respective buyers. When we started this initiative, there were lots of apprehension saying that tea is usually a taster tastes the tea. I mean, those of you who are not aware of the tea valuation process, the tea is tasted by a particular taster, and its parameters are fixed based on the liquor, the tea leaves, etc. So we went ahead and we were tasked with developing a machine learning solution which can predict what would be the price at which this tea would be sold. As we went, one thing needs to be kept in mind is that it's not that data science personnel or this one work in isolation. They have to understand the offline process to work out a ML solution. So I had to understand the tea industry. We had to understand how the tea gardens are segregated. These were the insights that came to us, and which are the auction centers, other auction centers. There is also a tea futures. So all of these initially there were lots of apprehension from the tea experts saying that this sort of solution has not been developed till date. But then we went ahead with it, and we taking all of these factors into consideration, the all the quality parameters, the classification of the tea gardens, the classification of the tea, the international tea future, we were able to develop a model which could forecast the price of tea, which the this one seller can expect. Uh, yeah, it we received an error of roughly around 4 to 5%. But then you have to keep in mind that ML solutions, this is in the initial stage with only 1.5 years of data. The ML solutions uh, improve their accuracy over a period of time. So every week the accuracy somewhat increases. So in an industry which has typically not seen this sort of a solution, we were able to what you call overcome skepticism and make it now. Discussing something like say bidding algorithm would open up more what you call other aspects. So I will leave this at that. So yes, people are making attempts to use AI and ML in various different things, and yeah, we are also
Absolutely,
using
that's
it in the
absolutely,
field.
Jose
Yeah.
sir. I think that that's a future which you just can't avoid. There's so much of technology coming into our life with so much of AI and ML coming into our life. Whether it's gonna be a future of driverless cars, and whether it's gonna be fully automated home, and just service departments which you get with along with the voice assistants, you're doing anything and everything just by not using any kind of technology, just by touching in a way in a full day life. That's what something we look forward to, and really appreciate your views on this, Ojay sir. And before
Vishal,
we end,
Vishal, I would
yes,
want
sir.
to add one point here, very important. I just
Yes, sir.
so I think most of us here are based on East here. One, and, a lot of legacy branch people also here, including my own. So about 2 years back, and I think the leaders, apart from business, should also impact real world. Doing something for the greater good of the society. I'll share an example. What we did was, Maharashtra's area, Latur, Usmanabad, that entire belt which is water strapped, and so there's a lot of hue and cry. This is 3 years back, 2.5, 3 years back. And what we did was people could, there were trains going with water, and it's a problem which is there for ages. It is a problem created by us only that we have gone to this stage. So we're looking at solutions. So so there was Nana Patekar. He has a foundation called Gel. So we were there. We got Kirloskar Brothers, who's based at Pune. Again, a legacy company which is in space of pumps and everything. And we sat with them. The problem was that, what do you do for people, women walking to 80 kilometers to get 2 bucket of water? It is inhuman. And talking technology is different and real world is that. So that was the first time we married. What we did, so we needed, so you cannot change this, people will walk. How do you make, and there was a survey done. Females there and kids there started losing one disc here in their neck, because when you carry a 4 kg or a 3 kg utensil on your shoulder or your head, it is, and at young age, 8-10 year kids, you know the idea was how to make it. What we did, we had, so we had Kirloskar who were investing money. We were there, we were investing money. There was Jan who had the ground network. What we did is that we took this as a project online. We disseminated it across the world. We invited ideas. We made a community and we said, can we innovate? Can all the big innovators come up with an idea where people will travel, but their life will become easy? You would not believe it took us 60, 70 days from Slovenia. This a group of people gave an idea where there was a metallic bowl. मतलब आप समझे घड़ा जो होता है, गोल घड़ा बंद है वो, but it is closed with a dick. And then they had kept, if you remember, if anyone who have seen kids, they बचपन में चलते टायर होते थे, उनमें एक, we used to put a rod and used to run those tires. So that model has that metallic tube where you could fill 2 liters, 3 liters of water, and it had a big metallic rod where which you can roll it. And so this was an idea. We got this in 60 days. Another 20, 25 days it took for that idea to get real. We got Bharat Forge and few more brands to come up with. We made this, the entire, it was custom made, modulars was made for it. And today you would not believe there are about 1,000 of them which are still in use. And Nana Particles Foundation is doing it. So I'm saying technological disruptions can also lead to real world change. So I thought, all leaders here, I thought that should, make an impact for all of us also in future. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Anilesh sir, I think the last comment from you was really wonderful, and in fact, we all should look for really to go in for it, that running that extra mile and making some impact in the customer experience somewhere. With this, we come towards the end of this session and the discussion. And before we conclude, just wanted to hear your feedback on this beautiful technology on which we are connected. It's called Avaya Spaces. And as a token of appreciation, we all will be sending you the licenses, trial licenses to use it. But if you would like to share any of your feedback on this, we would love to hear that. Was it easy to connect? Was it seamless? How your experience was overall? In anything?
Okay, so the experience was very fine. I could connect it in one go. Looks very decent. The interface is nice. I could see all the guests that I'm looking at. So
Right.
overall, a nice experience. Something that we can look forward to. And normally, what happens is that when you are, I will not name them because you get on different platforms while you're doing this, because last 2 years that's what we've done. So at least in my experience, I would have used 7, 8 of different brands under this. So I must say that it is right up there in one and very seamless, no disruptions, no cutting. The line did not disconnect too much. Pixels are good because this has been for, so my company has been work from home for last 2 years. This is the first time, I think, the first time that we have come to our offices about 10 days back. So for me, this was our bread and butter. So I can tell you in detail that this was a very nice experience. So
I
thanks to you,
love
Abhay, for it.
love to hear that, sir. That our technology and anyone praising it, we just love to hear that. Thanks a lot, sir, and sir. Appreciate your view, sir. And with this, I would like to comment towards end that customer experience expectations will continue to change radically over the next few years. Emerging technologies, shifting demographics, evolving consumer preferences, and increased environmental awareness are all driving radical changes. Traditional business are often under pressure to reassess their value proposition, and business model and customer interaction strategy to ride emerging trends while capitalizing on the new business building opportunities. So, with this, we come towards an end. Uh, Appreciate your views, all the panel speakers. Really wonderful to have you, and love to hear your views on that, your thoughts, and the industry experience which you have shared. And thanks a lot. Appreciate your time. And over to you, Shami.
Thank you so much, Vishal. I would, on this closing note, say a big thank you to our partner, Avaya India, and all our thought leaders for taking out time from their busy schedules to be here with us. We really appreciate it. Also, thank you to the people who joined in to listen to our speakers. We appreciate you being here today. I hope all of you all had a great session. We shall be updating the video link on our website shortly and requesting all of you to respond to our feedback form, which will be shared by us. The feedback also mentions about a one on one brainstorm virtual session with Avaya, and we would be glad to connect you with them. Kindly follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for our webinar and event updates. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care, stay safe. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.